Just when you thought Dallas Goedert back to the Eagles was in the clear, this happens. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. I feel really good as an Eagle fan headed into next year that this team is primed to go back to the Super Bowl. I really feel good about it. We have weathered the storm of the offseason. We have had a great draft. Even the so-called, quote, experts are saying the Eagles had a really good draft. And when you look at our rivals and other teams within the conference and the league, I don't think none of them have done enough to catch the Eagles, okay? They might have closed the gap a little bit, but they really didn't do anything to overtake us. However, I gotta say this. If there are two things that make me real nervous right now about the Eagles and where we're at and what is going on, it is these two things. And one of them is coming to a head really soon. But the first thing is Dallas Goedert. I have held my breath all season that somehow, some way, Dallas Goedert would stay. Okay? And it didn't look good. And then we had the draft. And the Eagles went through the entire draft. And they didn't take a tight end. They did not take a tight end. Then I'm starting to feel good. I'm like, all right, we're coming out of this draft. They didn't really get another tight end. They really can't afford to let Dallas Goedert go. Then he goes to Washington with the team. So I'm hoping, all right, things are going to be good with Dallas Goedert. Then this happens this morning. And I got to tell you, this makes me nervous about Dallas Goedert coming back. It really does. Ian Rappaport reported this. The Pound 49ers and star tight end George Kittle have agreed to terms on a big new contract extension that makes him the NFL's highest paid tight end. 4 years, $76.4 million, $40 million guaranteed. A big time priority for the Niners and Brock Purdy, blah. Who cares about them? But with Kittle getting a new contract, what is Dallas Goedert thinking? What is he thinking? I don't think Goedert could get paid as much as Kittle. So we know that right off the bat. But how much less is he going to request? How much less is he going to get? I really hope that this does not screw us up with Dallas Goedert. I really do. I want Dallas Goedert to play one more year. Give me one more year of Dallas Goedert, and then we can move on. I'm okay with that. But there's no need to get rid of him right now, especially when you haven't gotten a tight end in the draft. Now, we talked a little bit about Malik Carr yesterday, somebody who they're bringing in as an invitation. Guy looks like he's got a lot of tremendous upside, but making the team, being there, being able to start, that's all a different level. So the Eagles really, in my opinion, I don't think have a legit tight end ready to take over for Dallas Goedert. But the question is, what are they going to do now? Does this George Kittle, does this signing screw us? That's what I want to know. That's one thing I'm definitely worried about in this situation. Hopefully, look, I look at it like the Josh Sweat situation. I say, damn, if we could do what happened with Josh Sweat last year, do it this year with Goedert, I'm good. I think they agreed. They gave him some upfront money or whatever for one more year. He wound up staying with the Eagles. If you remember Sweat, he was like on his way out. He was like, I think he even posted something like, I'm going to miss you Eagle fans, pretty much, something like to that effect. And he thought he was gone, but he wound up staying. So I'm still hopeful Goedert will stay. But I'm not going to lie. That makes me nervous right now because if Goedert is to go, if the Eagles let him go, you have a hole at tight end. And yeah, you can use tight end by committee, and maybe that'll help somewhat. You've still got a lot of weapons on the offense. But to me, it's something you don't need to deal with right now. It's a hole you don't need. Wait one more year, okay? Now, part of that's Goedert, too. Is he going to hold out? Is he refusing to play? Does he want a new contract? Is he only going to play on a new contract? I don't know. But I'm hoping after the draft that Goddard will wind up staying. The other thing that's got me a little bit nervous right now is this deadline for Jordan Davis is approaching. Okay? Ed Kratz wrote this deadline approaching for Pound Eagles to decide what to do with Jordan Davis's contract. We have tremendous confidence and faith in Jordan Davis, is what Howie Roseman said. I guess during one of his press conferences during the draft. Now, the Eagles have until May 1st to pick up his option year. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's got this year coming up left on his rookie deal. Then, if the Eagles pick up his option year by May 1st, okay, he will actually play 1 more year after that. So he'll actually have 2 full years left on his contract. We see other teams starting to pick up these guys' contracts, like Kevon Thibodeau. Giants picked up his contract, his option year. So will the Eagles pick up Jordan Davis's option year? If they do, the Eagles will have to pay Jordan Davis, I believe, about $13 million in the final year of his rookie deal. So he would play this year, whatever he's supposed to pay. And then in 2026, he'll play for about $13 million. So will the Eagles pay him $13 million? The way I see it is if you got Milton Williams getting $26 million, and you got Jalen Carter about to get, high 30s, $40 million, then to me, $13 million for Jordan Davis, I think for 1 year is doable, okay? My hope is this. This is what I'm hoping right now. I'm hoping that the Eagles are actually in negotiations with Jordan Davis right now on a contract extension. You remember before the Eagles had to pick up Devontae Smith's option year last year, they signed him to an extension. My hope is that the Eagles are working on an extension with Jordan Davis. I think you could actually get Jordan Davis at a bargain price. Okay? Jordan Davis can't sit there and ask for top 5 defensive tackle money. He's not going to be able to ask, I think, for top 10 defensive tackle money. However, Jordan Davis still has a lot of talent, a ton of talent. And I thought he had a breakthrough in the NFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl. Think about it. The 2 biggest stages of his career, he goes out and has his best games. I think the best is yet to come. I think if he gets, I think he's got to be a little lighter than what he plays at. And I think if he comes in tremendous shape, I think Jordan Davis could have a big year. I am not giving up on Jordan Davis. I think he's still a kid that's developing, still a guy that's going to be able to play. He just needs to be a little bit better pass rusher, and I think a little bit better shape so he can stay on the field longer. Now, there were rumors last week that the reason why the Eagles hadn't picked up his contract was they were waiting to see him come in off-season training and stuff like that. They wanted to see what kind of shape he was in, and we were waiting. My hope is that they're going to pick up his contract. I believe they'll pick his contract up. My hope is that it's taking so long because they're going to pick up or they're going to extend him. That's what I would like to see. Try to extend him. Maybe you can get a bargain price for him, okay? That's what I'm hoping. I think it actually, because he hasn't played a lot of snaps, because maybe he hasn't lived up to what the expectations for many have been for a first rounder, you may get him at a bargain price. So I would definitely try to do that. Now, the Eagles drafted Ty Robinson. Tell you what, though, Ty Robinson is very, very impressive. Did you know that they call him the Vanilla Gorilla? That's his nickname. Dude, that guy's a beast. Somebody's got to explain to me how the hell he fell to where he did. I can't believe the Eagles got him where they did. Oh, what a steal by the Birds. The Eagles may say, look, we don't need Jordan Davis 3 or 4 more years. That's fine. But I think you got to pick up his option, if at the very least. If you're not going to extend him, pick his option up, have him for at least 2 more years, and then if you need to move on, move on. I'm totally okay with it, but I would not let him just play 1 year and then go. I wouldn't do that. I think you got to extend him. I still believe I still believe in Jordan Davis. I still believe his best days are in front of him. So I hope that the Eagles extend him. But that combined with the Dallas Goedert things right now are the two things that I worry about the most with the Eagles. Other than that, I feel pretty good about where we are. I really do. I think you address safety in the draft. I think this kid Makumba is going to start, and I think it's just a matter of time. Now, there's talk that they may get Justin Simmons. It seems like that's where this is heading, but I don't think you need him. But if you want a veteran presence and you want to bring him in, fine. I really like what the Eagles did in terms of the offensive line, the guys they brought in, the guys they drafted. I trust Stoutland, so I feel like the guard spot is pretty well addressed. I think the Eagles addressed linebacker and depth there. I feel really good about where this team is. I think if we could get Goddard's situation straight and figured out, then you get the Jordan Davis stuff. Hopefully they pick it up by the time this video goes up. Hopefully they pick up his contract. If you get those two things squared away, I think this team, for the most part, is ready to go. And like I said, yes, when you look at the offseason, they did lose players, but I feel like for the most part, we got them replaced. Then you look at what other teams did within the division and within the conference. I don't believe any of these teams have done anything to catch the Eagles, okay? Now, I will say, like, if you look at the draft, I don't think Washington did enough. I think Washington missed the boat the most. I really think they made a big mistake not getting DK Metcalf and going for Deebo Samuel. Time will tell, okay? But Washington, they moved the needle a little bit, not that much. Then you look at Dallas. Dallas fans get pissed off that I say this, but Dallas, the Cowboys, I mean, they did a fine job drafting for 3-4 years down the road, but they have done nothing to get an immediate impact player right now that's going to go on the field and help them score points. They had a blue chip player in Tyler Warren on the board, and they passed up on him. Big mistake, okay? Now there's talk that they may trade for Amari Cooper. Are you really worried about that? Really, are you really worried about that? George Pickens would scare me much more. Not that he would scare me, but that would be a much more better addition. But Dallas ain't gonna pull nothing like that off. So they did not. They may actually be worse than the Giants. Giants had a great draft, but they're a few years away. And then you look at teams like the 49ers, they stink. I think Detroit's all right. And I think the Rams improved somewhat too. Nobody could catch the Eagles. Nobody could catch the Eagles. The Eagles are way ahead above everybody else right now. We just got to take care of these two things. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Well, I guess The Last of Us, I'm done with. I'm all done with The Last of Us. To me, the second season of The Last of Us has been a disaster. A disaster. I liked the first season. Second season, I'm done. Okay? Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, then earmuffs on, click off of this. But, man, when you killed the main character, second episode of season 2, and I know he dies in the game, but why did you do it now? To me, the show's done. It's done. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.